Start with the next topic, that is tracing evolutionary relationships. Now, before starting this topic, I will have a quick recap of what we studied in the previous class about common ancestors. Okay. Now, if you have got certain similar characteristics, then they have got similar ancestors. Okay. So the classification becomes easy. Okay, so some common we have seen that suppose the three nuclear, single, multi, photosynthesis, yes, no, skeleton, inside out. So all of them help us to classify the organisms. Okay, now after classification, the characteristics in different organisms would be similar because they are inherited from common ancestors. So whenever you have got common characteristics, that means they have been inherited from some common ancestors. For example, okay, in mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, if you see, they have got four limbs. Okay, now you see here, this is a limb of a frog, this is a limb of a lizard, this is a limb of a bird, and this is limb of a human. If you observe this properly, okay, their structure, okay, that is a design, but the structure is same, but their uses are different. This is used for climbing the wall, this is used for jumping. We have different use of our limbs, running, walking, eating, all such things, even birds. Okay, so the uses are different, but the design is same. Okay, such organs are known as homologous organs. Now, whenever you have got homologous organs with same design and the different use, that means they have got some common ancestor because that body design is same. So, such homologous characteristics help us to identify an evolutionary relationship between different species. So, these species are different. That means these species sometime must have had some common ancestor. Okay. Now we go to the next example. Okay. We have got wings here of bat and bird. Now both are wings. Both are used for flying. But if you see the structure, okay, the structure is different. And plus, if you see bat's wing, okay, the wings of the bat skin folds are stretched mainly between the elongated fingers. The skin fold is here. Okay, while the wings of the bird, okay, they have got feathery covering all over the arm. So from here to here, you have feathers. But in wings of bat, you don't have anything here. Everything is here on this side. Okay, so here the use is same. That is for flying, but the design is different. So whenever you have got same use and design is different, then they are evolved from different ancestors. Even though they are wings, that means these are not related to each other. They don't have same ancestor. They don't have common ancestor. Okay, and such organs are known as analogous organs. Okay. Now, because of this, okay, so their origin is not common. That makes analogous characteristics rather than homologous characteristics. Okay, so like this we can link out the evolution from where the bat has evolved, from where bird has evolved. Okay, now the next topic is fossils. All of you, we have studied fossils in the previous lower classes. Okay, now if any studies have to be done about organ structure which on current species on species which are no longer alive. Now how can we do the studies of this extinct species which are no longer alive? Okay, now that can be done from finding fossils. Now what are fossils? Now what happens when organisms they die? Their bodies will decompose and be lost. But sometimes once a while what happens, the body or some parts of the body may be in an environment that does not let it decompose completely. Okay, so it does not get completely decomposed and some part may be remaining. Okay, for example, there's a dead insect that gets caught in a hot mud. It will not decompose quickly and the mud will harden. So what happens? It retains the impression of the body parts of the insects. All such preserved traces of any living organisms are called fossils. Now these fossils can be some impressions, it can be some bones, it can be anything which is preserved. Okay, now there are examples given in your textbook with with the pictures, okay, of different fossils. Just go through them, okay, and then turn the page. Now, how do we know this? How old the fossils are? So there are two different estimation. Now, the first one is relative. Now, relative means what? When we dig the earth and we start finding the fossils, it is reasonable to suppose that the fossils which we find closer to the surface will be more recent, and the fossils which we go deeper are later. Okay, so whenever you have got a fossil, as you go on digging, it is found in the upper surface. That means it is recent fossil. But if you find it in a deeper layers, that means it's a very old fossil. Now, the second way is a dating of fossils by ratios of different isotopes. There are different radioactive isotopes which are used to find the how old the fossil is of the same element in the fossil material. Okay, now there is a did you know here on this page. Okay, just go through this did you know, that will help you to understand fossils better, how their fossils are formed layer by layer. Now suppose here you have water sea, and when the water animals or the aquatic animals they die, what happens, how they go to the seabed. Here can you see the seabed? Okay, they are fossilized, and then they have got mud, the water layer get decreased. Okay, so certain fossils are accumulated at that particular layer. Okay, so just read this, you will have a better idea about fossils. Thank you.